Our third high school band of the morning, oldest public school band in Arlington, literally hundreds of superior and best class trophies to their credit.
Love it. I love it. Big turnout.
The Horse and the Colt Kickers, directed by Sharon Thomas. This organization has won first place in many categories when they took part in the state competition this year in San Antonio. Some of the Colt footballers, 6 of them there.
Officers for 95-96 are Brandy King, Betsy Sainel, Nikki Savant, Katie McBride, Nikki Curry, Adrian Cotoni, and Cena Dingman. I hope I got all those names right. I got a feeling I messed up a few.
Some of the offensive line and linebackers there for this year's football team. So we've had Martin, Lamar, and now Arlington.
Arlington High School class with this vehicle in 1954. The class of 54 wishes to salute our teachers as our stars. To name a few who sponsored our class is Miss Elizabeth Amos, now deceased, Mrs. Berta Mae Pope, also deceased, and Miss Jane Ellis, who's more active than most of the class of 1954. A special salute is given to James W. Martin, who was AHS's principal before becoming superintendent of the Arlington ISD. Martin High School is named for Mr. James Martin. It's great.
And if you went to Arlington High in 1954, the next year you would have one of those, a 55 Chevrolet.
Mr. Key taught math, Mr. Scherer taught business, Mr. Accounts, Mr. Coach, Mr. Hewitt taught math, Mr. Butler math. These are names. Foster taught speech. We're talking about a bunch of names that are on schools today.
Kelly McKnight, third generation member of the Pioneer Arlington family, 1919 Model T Ford touring car. Kelly's son Bill driving the 1940 Model Ford Deluxe convertible.
We next have the Arlington Board of Realtors. Saluting the All-Stars of every day is the theme of this 1995 parade entry by the Arlington Board. And the ordinary citizens, they say, of Arlington are their All-Stars. The Arbor Community Service Committee, in addition to sponsoring this entry, takes an active part in our community. The community holds an annual canned food drive in conjunction with Arlington Charities. Feed Arlington. The committee provides manpower for the clean team, collecting sites, sponsors blood drives, the cholesterol screening, etc. The committee is co-chaired this year by Realtor Debbie Hogan, ERA Arlington Park, and affiliate Pam Hardesty of Lone Star Inspection Company. They were chartered, the board was in 1949. The Woodland West Recreation Center cheerleaders. Entry number 80.
Just handed you a couple of dum-dums. Tootsie Pops here.
I will take those in the spirit, I hope, with which you were given.
The Arlington Hispanic Advisory. This is the first year for this group to enter in the parade, established 2 years ago to promote Hispanic involvement in community and civic affairs through active involvement and education. 38 Hispanics have received recipients of the Congressional Medal of Honor.
The Hispanic entry is led by State Representative Roberto Alonso of Dallas, Martin Munoz, City Councilman for the City of Pantego, followed by the club's officers in a classic 1966 convertible driven by the council's president, Ruben Puente. Greg Vaquera, a club founder and past president, Teresa Sims, vice president, Sam Morales, founder and interim president of the National Association of Hispanic Firefighters. We got kids there. Are the Spear Elementary academic cheerleaders following the float. The school was adopted, by the way, by AHAC, the Arlington Hispanic Advisory Council, and it's coached by Dana Casey of the Spear faculty. And the float is in keeping with the council's Hispanic heritage and is appropriately named Hispanic All-Stars Salute to the USA. The Mustang, provided by Marion Joe Tharley, who owns a cruise and driving school.
And here is the float.
You mentioned that 38 Hispanics have been the recipients of the Congressional Medal of Honor, are represented in all areas of the armed forces. They want to thank the float flowers, by the way, were made by Spear Elementary students, and float sponsors are Wayne Cox Freight for the float construction. Nice entry.
First year of their appearance.
Cookie Torres Otterbein on that float.
Classic Chevrolets. When you talk Lone Star Region Classic Chevrolets, you really talk about the 55, the 56, and the 57. They show at malls, car shows. They've been in a lot of television programs and movies. This group today will expand some into the 60 models, led by a turquoise 57 Bel Air.
That's that classic color, isn't it?
57 Chevrolets, that color or usually black.
Is that right?
Yeah, that's when I think most of the 57s that I remember are those two colors, solid white. Here's some from the 60s.
Oh, they're sleek.
Mid-60s.
Yeah, just gorgeous.
Malibu.
The Malibu was just classic design, John, wasn't it?
And the 56, yeah, that one was, as was this, the 56. Two-door, General Motors of Arlington, and the United Auto Workers Union, Local 276. Flag Corps made up of employee veterans from the various branches of the armed services.
Flags are replicas of the different U.S. flags that have flown over the country, from the Betsy Ross flag to the 48 states flag to our current 50 states flag.
General Motors would like to salute those men and women who have fought in any war to keep our country free. They'll have a military Jeep you'll see very shortly. That's behind the Flag Corps, pulling a float, Tony, depicting one of the most famous photographs of WW2, the raising of the U.S. flag at Iwo Jima. 6 individuals reenacting the flag raising on the float, all World War II veterans who served to restore peace and freedom.
And following the Iwo Jima reenactments is the float, but each branch of the service is represented by one of the stars on the float. Beside these stars, a veteran from the war.
Can you remember any of the 6? Ira Hayes is the one that comes to mind.
Don't do that to me, John. This, history. I mean, spur of the moment history. I mean, this is not Jeopardy, John. Great entry. Great entry. They've done a superior job. Well, then we have the GM UAW writing team. I mean, if the car didn't work, They had one of these animals taking them around. Now, proud to be the hoofbeats of the heartbeat of America. It's the 7th year for the club to participate in the Arlington 4th of July parade, and most of the riders work at GM Motors' Arlington plant. Some are family and friends. Horses are sporting a sparkled star in their blanket between GM and UAW, and a red, white, and blue ribbon on their tail. Club president this year is Loretta Santos. Vice President Overton Brooks, and sweetheart is Casey Burris.
Been handed some pencils by General Motors.
Yes. You know, John, I mean, I never know the years of cars, but I don't think you need to know the years of horses.
I was going to give you a double jeopardy around here.
Horse. What, John? Okay, what year is that horse? Okay, good. That's a 1995 horse.
Recent vintage.
I love it. The stars are there. There you can see the ribbons on the tails. In that
like
shot.
the long sleeve white shirts with the red bandana. All riders displaying.
They're waving at us, John. It's a great entry. They just go all out. This again, John, I think this is more folks of even this group than we've seen. I mean, more people riding their horses.
Yeah, you're right, Tony. 30 years of parades, a lot of memories, and Cheryl will tell us about something special coming up.
There are a lot of folks that have been a part of this parade for a long time, and we talked to a few of them.
Sat over in Martha Walker's living room writing the bylaws
Kitchen,
that's right, it was
in the kitchen.
That's right.
And Martha did most of the work.
That's right.
That's right.
Right.
And Joe, how many years are you going to stay with this? When are you going to retire?
This year. I'm going to sit in the curb and watch it next year because I have to watch a replay on TV to see the parade now.
This guy has been with this since the second year, and he has been with it every single year
That's right.
since the second year. There would be no 4th of July without Joe McCabe.
Well, I don't know about that. Wait to see what happens next year.
Now everybody wants to be in the parade, and now it's a matter of trying to limit it to a manageable amount, and that's the reason that we limited our number of entries to 150 this year, and that doesn't include the pre-parade. And I think the fact that we were able to get Governor Bush as our Grand Marshal has made this an exciting year.
Well, Tony, as we pick it up, following those comments from Betty Hart, Joe McCabe, and Dottie Lynn.
We got to miss this street sweeper there, John.
It always
we needed
follows.
the horse, but you know the horse has been very good today.
Yeah, they have.
Certainly here. We appreciate that, horses. Thank you very much. It's those model horses, John. That was a good year. Catalytic converters and all that.
Yeah.
I hope. Well,
Tate Springs Baptist Church.
And it's the Praise Band performing jazz Dixie gospel music. And they've designed their float to look like the ballpark in Arlington, the band in the outfield. And I'm going to read this, John, just as it is on my card.
Okay, have at it.
They've designed the float to look like the ballpark in Arlington with the band in the outfield, Jesus as the pitcher, children as angel basemen, and Satan as the batter.
Charles Clary is the pastor, has been there for 22 years. Tate Springs Baptist Church.
Tate Springs Baptist Church is 113 years old.
We have the Friends of the Arlington Public Library, and they have a marching unit there, folks strolling along. Under the banner displaying the international symbol for libraries of the Friends of they're Friends of the Arlington Public Library. Nonprofit volunteer group, Organize 83, promotes public awareness and community support for our wonderful library system, encourages gifts. I know they encourage gifts and fundraising activities and bring together people who share an interest to develop and maintain a first-class library operation for the city.
And behind the Friends of Arlington, the Big Brothers and Sisters. They match children from single-parent homes with adult volunteers who serve as a special friend and a role model. All matches made by big brothers and sisters are star matches. In fact, they'll move into a brand new building about 100 yards behind us on Main Street in the fall.
Right next to the museum. And they're a fine organization, been around for a long time, and as usual, they are looking for volunteers, continue to need volunteers for these young men and women who are waiting to be matched. Happy Times Clown Alley has been in the parade for 3 years running. The float is Bozos for baseball. Well, I'm getting all these cards, John, that have different things on here, and they are truly baseball fans. The Clowns even have a hot dog vendor from Arlington Stadium, and some are even on strike. Organized 3 years ago, the group began with 17 members and now is over 40 strong. I don't write them, I just read them, folks.
Their union is very strong. You better watch it.
They need arbitration.
Arlington 13 proudly presents the 30th Annual 4th of July Celebration Parade, an all-star salute to the USA. Brought to you in part by these local sponsors: Buzz Post Pontiac GMC Isuzu, Country Kitchen, Executive Custom Jewelers, Quickset Jewelry Repair, Pizzeria Uno Restaurant and Bar, Edward D. Jones and Company, Cynthia Cox Investment Representative, The Fast Lane at the Parks Mall, The Neighborhood Doctor, and Maverick Athletic Club and Aerobic Center.
Happy 4th of July to everyone here in Arlington as we celebrate the 30th Annual 4th of July Parade. We are very pleased to have George W. Bush, the governor of our great state, here as the Grand Marshal for the largest and finest parade in Texas. We are here with Channel 13 cameras, all ready to bring you every aspect of this fantastic parade. I'm Cheryl Ford, and I'll have lots of help throughout this day, and especially this morning. And all of you that are still home in bed, come on down. You've got plenty of time, and the weather is perfect. We're going to take a break right now, but we'll be back with coverage of the 30th Annual 4th of July Parade.
Tony, the governor's here.
Yes, welcome to an all-star salute to USA, and he did. He's here, Governor George Bush, and there he is. Here for the 30th anniversary of our Independence Day celebration. And we're really very proud to have him here. And the First Lady of Texas, Mrs. Laura Bush.
What if he has an extra pair of All-Star tickets? How's it going, Governor?
Yes, I'll bet a lot of people probably have asked him about that.
I'm sure he has been asked. You know, I think in the first 6 months, he has proven to be a very popular governor.
Absolutely. Well, certainly he's not going to not be popular here in Arlington, Texas. But he's done a fantastic job and seems to be growing with it and enjoying it more and more every day.
Mike Gentry and Brett Bell presenting a plaque.
There's his son Brian and his Brian's wife Kathy.
Well, Tony, the next faces should be very familiar to you. You see them in the newspapers, see them on television, perhaps even met them in person. The Arlington City Council, Joe Ewan, Dan Cerna, Elsie Odom, Dottie Lynn, Dixon Holman, Paula Hightower, Wayne Oberlin, Judy Rapay.
And everybody knows they're, well, if you can't make it to the meetings every Tuesday night at 6:30, they're on the City Channel 5 on your cable network.
They're in the hot seat, but this morning, atop the oldest fire truck, one of the oldest in Arlington.
Here's a congressman who's also become very popular. Obviously, if you're elected, you're popular these days. Congressman Joe Barton in the 6th Congressional District of Texas. And he's a rising star, speaking of stars, in the House of Representatives and chairs the House Subcommittee of Oversight and Investigation of the Energy and Commerce Committee. And behind him, Congressman Martin Frost. Also, they're all bald, these congressmen, decked out in traditional red, white, and blue. Congressman Frost in his 9th term is representative of the 34th Congressional District, which currently includes about half of Arlington. And he's on the House Rules Committee, very powerful committee as well. He's glad to be here with the citizens of Arlington in celebration of our nation's independence, and he's done a superior job for our area. We've got a special presentation that's about to take place, and it's called the presentation of the Mayor's Award. And what they do is they award this back at the staging area, the judges do. It's pulled out of order and put into this order to be presented in front of the reviewing stand near the beginning of the parade. And this year's winner, Arlington School Class of 1957. It was the first class to graduate from AHS at its current location on Park Row in Cooper. The class works through Mission Arlington to help the less fortunate, publishes a newsletter for fellow classmates, faculty members, and they all contribute to class projects. Robert Miles was the class float coordinator. And of course, the theme of this year's parade, All-Star Salute to the USA, is depicted by baseball all-stars in caricature on giant hanging stars, each star representing a decade of all-star games. And they were done, the caricatures, by fellow classmate and artist Judy Workman Long. And nothing represents USA more than baseball in its all-star game. So they salute it with "Take Me Out to the Ball Game," and let's listen to them.
Our Mayor's Award winner, Tony, the class of 57, they wish to dedicate this float to the memory of fellow class member Jim Tanton. Jim was the owner of Fox Electric and Park Row Lighting.
The organ that is being played by Randy Wills, class of 68, of the Singing Wills family. They're not having any fun, are they? That's a great float. Starts this off great. Some great names up there. The Babe, Ken Griffey, Nolan Ryan. Look at these folks. Boy, the crowd is into it this year. I mean, this is all right, John. Look at that.
And the Little Henry Clown Train Company. First time they have been in the parade, owned by John Henry of Knoxville, Arkansas.
How am I going to do that? I think he can go around me.
Well, you could hear them about a quarter of a mile off.
Oh, look at that. Future All-Stars there. And it says Riverfest at the ballpark. I think our cameraman is hopefully going to make it.
They did.
Oh, that's great.
They invite everyone out to Riverfest tonight. Dixie-style cloggers from Grand Prairie, Texas.
Do you clog, John?
I do not. I do not. Club is 9 years old. They have beginning clogging lessons twice each year at the Grand Prairie Community Center. They help raise over $14,000 for kids over the last 3 years.
Yeah, and they're sponsoring a benefit, and they usually do to send kids from Dallas Children's Medical Center to attend the summer camp. Let's listen to that. I bet it keeps you healthy, John. Gets your aerobic points in there.
I bet it does. Clogging on the 4th, 5th, and 6th.
And next comes the Mid-Cities Heritage Organization. And we have a lot of history here, as you heard Cheryl Nason giving some of it of just this parade. The members of the many heritage organizations in the area revel in that history, and the float depicts men, women, and children of the 1800s during the American Revolution, Republic of Texas, statehood, and the 4 years of the Confederacy. And it's manned by members of the Sons of the Republic of Texas, Daughters of the Republic of Texas, Sons of the American Revolution, the Daughters 1812, the Sons of Union Veterans, Daughters of Union Veterans, Sons of Confederate Veterans, the United Daughters of Confederacy, and the Children of the Confederacy. And I think I'm glad I had that 4th cup of coffee, John.
Johnny Reb there somewhere. The Northern unit is here, followed by the Confederacy.
Beautiful costumes, John. Very authentic. I'm impressed. I mean that seriously.
We spent a lot of time on this. This is very impressive.
Very impressive.
Think about marching 50 miles, 60 miles in that.
That was wonderful.
Behind them, the All-American Martial Arts, providing quality Taekwondo instruction. The master instructor, Dennis Gocher, holds a 5th degree black belt.
You're going out now, right? Aren't we taking a break? You're going out to the street and challenging them on this breaking the board thing?
Yeah, I'm taking on the demonstration team, single-handed.
Are you doing it by yourself? I mean, should I come with you, or?
You didn't know that?
No.
Rick and Terry Black demonstrating
I think the two Cheryls should be out there to do this.
Breaking technique. Haven't you ever wanted to take that out?
Yeah, I met her once. Oh, yes. That'll be a size 7 instead of a size 9 foot. Thank you. This is when it gets dangerous here. This is, whoa.
Looks 20
I
feet
don't
tall.
know. Okay. Yes.
Clowns and bands, it's like corn on the cob without butter. I mean, you have to have them.
Yeah. Okay. He's going in.
Frank Thomas. Jaguar cheerleaders support their float. The biggest American flag.
Big flag. There we go again, old Greg.
Thanks to the wind.
And while they have no music, we're just going to sit here and listen to the crowd as it rises to its feet and applause these Vietnam veterans. You can hear the swell growing in the crowd as they get closer to the reviewing stand.
Camouflage, the pants remind us of the jungles in which they served. Ray Burris of the Texas Rangers in the Ranger Road uniform. The black shirts worn in remembrance of their fallen comrades and the POWs and the MIAs they will not forget. Raised Southwest Vietnam veteran.